Hey, this is Matt once again. We're about to another video, and this is another request for Te69 Spartan. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, whether it be a movie review, re-review, random thoughts, streams, commentaries, video game playthrough for an hour, full playthrough, topic reaction, whatever the case may be, feel free to send it. I will get to it as soon as I possibly can, and for those who sent them, thank you. I do appreciate it. And this is for Tekken, the motion picture, which I had never seen before, honestly, because I never played Tekken. Let me start with this. I'm not good at fighting games. I've never been a fighting game guy. The games I played back in the day were either Nintendo, it was Super Mario Brothers, or even Ninja Turtles and NES. I never got to play Contra, but I love Contra because I played that later. Super Nintendo, Super Mario World, Turtles in Time, among other stuff. And then later on, like horror games like Silent Hill, Resident Evil, Metal Gear Solid, the games go on. Now, fighting game-wise, the only fighting game I played back in the day was Street Fighter 2 for Super Nintendo. The only one. Maybe the TMNT Tournament Fighters for Super Nintendo, I played that for a bit. All others, Mortal Kombat I've tried, I suck at it. Because I don't know how to do fatalities, I don't know how to do most of the damn moves. So I'm just spamming stuff and getting my ass kicked. Tekken I never did. I don't know if I tried it. If someone might have requested me to try it for an hour. I can't remember. But I'm not familiar with the story. I'm not familiar with the lore. I'm not familiar with the characters. So how this is compared to the game, I don't know. You guys could school me on it all day, and twice on Tuesday you would know a hell lot more about it than me. As a movie though, because I guess in Japan this was two 30-minute OVAs, which is original voice original video animation. I forget the exact term, but OVA, it was 30-minute episodes, two of them. When it came to America, they put it together, so really it's like 57 minutes, give or take. About 57 minutes. And to be honest, I thought this kind of sucked. I was not a fan of this. Because I actually liked the live-action film that came out in 2010. I do. I liked that movie. It's not a classic. It has its flaws. There's a scene early on where they steal a shot from another movie. But I thought it went at a good pace. I thought it had fight scenes, and I enjoyed most of the fight scenes. I didn't mind the lead guy. Hell, it starts out with "You're Going Down." It's directed by Dwight H. Little, who did Halloween 4, and he did, did he do March for Death, I think, with Steven Seagal, and Rapid Fire, Brandon Lee. Those are better, but I liked Tekken for what it is. I haven't seen it in forever, but I do remember liking it. And I liked it a hell lot more than this. So that makes me, I don't know what the fuck it makes me, but I'd rather watch Tekken live action film. I never thought it was that bad of a movie. It was a tournament and people fought, and fight scenes I thought were pretty good. And there you go. Teriyuki Tagawa's in it. This is cool. Gary Daniels in it, which is cool. There wasn't much cool about it, to be honest. First, it's some guy talking about Tekken and what Tekken is, and people fight in the name of God. I'm like, yeah, that could be a whole other conversation. And about how you asked with your own fist, and complete the knowledge of your own fist and flesh creates one's Tekken. And if you have your Tekken, you will have your power and your Fruit Loops and your cornflakes and what the fuck else the guy was talking about at the beginning. And then you get into our scheduled programming where Kazoo, I'll just call him Kazoo for the shits and giggles. He's a little kid helping this little girl. This little girl's mad that people are killing the rabbits, or animals, I should say. Animals are killing the rabbits. And the kid's like, I'll kill that bobcat for you. I'm like, yeah, I love to see this kid kill a bobcat. But his dad is a asshole and says, listen, you pussy. Throws his ass out and off the cliff. You found out later he did that because he wants to see if this kid is strong enough to climb up the mountain and climb up. In fact, the other part of it, spoilers, is he more than likely knew that this kid would make a deal with the devil or make a deal with the demon and to come back and be stronger, and I'm going to use this kid to help take over the world because the world is corrupt and I can make it better, and all that maniacal aspect that this dad has. So the girl, June, she sees this. She's, of course, sad, as anybody would. She wakes up. She's an adult now. She keeps having these nightmares. And she's an agent for this organization. And apparently there's these experiments happening with genomes and animals and some kind of bioweapons being made. Well, her and this other guy have to go undercover where there's a martial arts tournament. You find out that the head of this organization and the guy kind of behind the tournament is the same father that threw the kid off the cliff. And then that guy's son, stepson, son, he's kind of running the operation at hand as well. Meanwhile, the kid, Kazu, did survive, and he now has a big chip on his shoulders, and the dubbing is really bad. Like, the dubbing is pretty damn bad. The sinister feeling. What is that feeling? A boner. Oh, fucking. He gets attacked by this mercenary lady that the bad guy, the bad father and such, have, as well as the guy's son. Or, I don't give a fuck if his actual son, stepson, if his fucking pet monkey, or his fucking slave bitch. Because they ain't much of a character. This lady is hired to go kill the lead, but the lead fucks her shit up and jumps out of the hotel before the room blows up. It's not much of a fight. Pretty much just he dodges and gives her an uppercut. And that's the thing with this movie. It's called Tekken. They say a martial arts tournament is going to happen, but there's barely any fights. I remember the 2010 film having a lot of damn fights. I only say that because it seems like people hate that movie, but they love this. Well, this doesn't really have much love either, because it's just like a 5.29 to B, so it seems like this one people think isn't that good either. But there's not much fights. Which is weird. You think Tekken, you think the thing they would do is fights, but there's not a lot of fights. Why there's not much fights? And then the brief fights they have are very, very brief in the screen time of the fights. The guy throwing his kid off the cliff ain't a fight. It's bad parenting. The Merc Lady and Kazu fighting ain't a fight. He dodging and does an uppercut and gets the hell out before the thing blows up. I don't know if I call that a fight. The only thing I liked about that is they used the song Save Yourself by Stabbing Westward. Said, save yourself. I'm like, I'll just listen to that song on my own. I used to have the CD. I could listen on YouTube. I like that song. Save yourself. Yeah, save yourself from this fucking boring ass movie. This is boring as shit. Just like this review. So while the guy left, the June and the other guy, they get on a boot. They go up river, but not the kid bites his ass so hard. Before they get on, this guy with a mohawk, I think his name is Jack. Noah's last name is not Meoff. Jack has his little girl, wants to get on. They say, okay, if you want to do that, hey, this tip boxer Bruce. I don't know how much that guy is in the Tekken games or not. Go get this fool. But this guy with the mohawk, Jack, beats Bruce's ass pretty easily. So they're able to get on the boat. They get to the island. You see a little bit of fighting, but they're very, very brief. There's this native girl. I don't remember her damn name. Last of the Mohicans. I was going to say Pinocchio. Pocahontas. Whatever the hell her name was. The lead defeats her very easily. And then he's got a dark side, so he's ready to kill her. And June comes in. She's like, no, you don't have to kill her. He's like, dude, fuck on my face. I'm going to kill you. And then before they fight, some of the bad guys unleash their secret weapon. Android or not maybe android, like genetically enhanced dinosaurs. Was that a thing in Tekken where there's like genetically made dinosaurs? But there's dinosaurs that could make themselves invisible. Great, what did Jurassic World watch this movie about cloaking dinosaurs? While that's happening, and this guy is getting a love affair of killing these dinosaurs, some of the only violence gore in the movie, because he takes one like he's King Kong and snaps the jaw, and the other he like punches. Wasn't there someone like a robot dinosaur hunter? God, now I want to look it up. Because it's much more interesting than this movie. There was a comic book. Maybe it wasn't called that. Sorry, my phone has to take 5 years to start. But anyway, so while that's happening, the guy with the mohawk, you find out Jack is an android. This little girl that's always with him, she's sick. He was this weapon, but he found her conscious, wants to find help for this girl. The guy who is June's partner, he helps those two. They find this professor, and this professor is going to help, but then shit hits the fan. There's a self-destruct. They gotta get the hell out of there. Before they get to the professor, they fight some other androids. So the one guy, June's partner, beats one up, and the Jack the android, crushes a couple of those. No, I'm not talking about Turok. Maybe that's not what it was called. Robot Fighter. Okay, I knew. You can't see it clearly. I knew I wasn't crazy. It's called Robot Fighter, and he's fighting the... Oh, shut up, I'm not dragging anything. You can't see, but you're a Robot Fighter. Guy... What the God damn you. I'll do it. There, you see a little bit better. Sorry. But yeah, Robot Fighter. Punching a dinosaur in the face. And you even see the blood at the dinosaur on the bottom, so... Yeah, that's what it reminded me of. But I'd rather read this comic. I don't have the comic, but... Yeah, Robot Fighter. I think there's actually a comic where it fought the Predator. But anyway. I'm thinking more about that than this movie. Oh, also when those three find the professor, there's a kangaroo that has boxing gloves. And I think that's the thing in Tekken. If I type Tekken kangaroo... Roger, yep, it is. And I'm like, man, this might be the best character in the movie. Why can't he be the lead? Yeah. Tekken Kangaroo. Jesus Christ. So yeah, it's like they're literally a kangaroo with boxing gloves and starts, hitting the June's partner. And he's like, "Are you serious?" And then Professor explains who this kangaroo is. His name is Roger. I'm like, can't he be in it more? He's like a kangaroo that beats the shit out of people with boxing gloves. I kind of want to see that for a whole anime like cartoon thing. Because he has no dialogue and he's the most interesting character in this fucking movie. Because the problem is the characters. The only characters you really get an inkling of is Kuzu, June. I guess the android Jack. That's pretty much it. They show you some other fighters, but very, very briefly. You don't get to see them fight. So if you're into any of those characters, you don't feel like you got ripped off. You would think in this kind of movie you would see a lot of fighting, which is what the main attraction is, but you don't see much fighting. I mean, that's just strange to me. Like, why would you make this film and go, let's not have a lot of fighting in this movie that's based on a game that's a fighting tournament, and then we mention a fighting tournament? Why? Like, why would you not do that? Street Fighter 2, which is the other animated film he wants me to review, I like that. That film, it has flaws. For me, it does. But it's much better than this. Because it does give more what the audience wants, which are fights. And fights that, when they do happen, last more than 15 seconds. Because I'm like halfway through this 57 minutes, and really the only fight is the lead doing an uppercut on a merc lady. There's a bit where one of the evil ladies tries to shoot them with a bazooka when they're on the boat. I'm trying to think now. I'm looking at my notes. Oh, him fighting the female Tatanka. He fought the dinosaurs more than the people. That just killed me. Like, but it is what it is. Finally, the father and son fight for a little bit. I do like the song used, Bone Crusher by Soul Hat. So I like some of the songs in this. That's some of the better parts in it. The Jack and the girls, Professor, they escape. The android holds the door. They escape. He gets crushed. He gives his life like he's Arnold from T2. Or T3 or whatever. Really, like, during the little fight between father and son, it's pretty much the girls say, no, you're better than this. You're better than this. And here's your locket your mom had. I mean, there's a picture of your mom in it. And then he decides not to be a bad guy anymore. The father's pissed about that. One thing leads to another. There's an auto-destruct on the island. You don't get this big payoff, big fight scene or anything. You don't give the audience what they're looking for. You don't give the audience... And it's one of those things I'm sitting there going, I don't understand. That's why I keep looking down at my notes. Like, am I missing something? Did my mind fog over? Did my mind go off the reservation and miss, like, the fun that should be had with a movie like this? But the animation, I thought, was more on the cheap side. Compared to, like, Street Fighter 2 animated movie, that opening with Ryu and Sagat and the storm and how it's like black and you see because the lightning flash. that had much more style than this did. And I just don't understand that. I don't get. I don't. I don't get it. You barely see any fights, and the very, very, very few you have are so quick. It's ridiculous. Then he walks all the lead. Now he's a good guy again, holding the girl. It cuts to, I guess, some years later, and June is there with her kid, Jin, and I guess that's the lead guy's son. And I guess Jin is the lead of Tekken 3. So I guess they try to combine like Tekken 1 and 2 together. Because I think in Tekken 1, Mr. Kazu was the lead. I think by the second, he becomes the bad guy, and then the third is this kid. Yeah. And I'm sitting there going, I know I'm fading away with this review, but it's just being dumbfounded. You think, like, okay, we have this short amount of time. Let's get really as much action and excitement that people want out of these characters. And why can't you just have a martial arts tournament? That, I don't know why that's such a hard thing to fathom. Mortal Kombat 1995 did it, man. And it was successful. And how do you feel about the special effects nowadays? People think of that fondly. A lot of people, me and others. I like the Street Fighter 2 animated movie, and there's a decent amount of fights at least, but not a martial arts tournament. Here, they say martial arts tournament, but you don't see most of the tournament. You don't see most of the fighters actually doing fighting. Street Fighter Van Damme, not a tournament. Mortal Kombat 2021, not a tournament. I don't know how fucking hard this is. So other than a couple songs I like Stabbing Westward and the Bone Crusher song by Soul Hat, this was just really boring. Again, the animation I thought looked rather cheap. The English dubbing is awful, of course. The plot is whatever. They try to force on this drama with only a couple characters, and it wasn't that successful at it. A lot of other characters are left in the back burner. Because I would assume Tekken has a lot of other characters that people like and are fond of, and they're not mentioned much in this. So with that said, thanks for watching. This film wasn't much to me. Like I said, I prefer the 2010 live action film. I thought that was just more fun, more fast paced, had more action, had more fights. It was just more entertaining for me compared to this. So, with that said, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye bye.